Ike Larsen, who we had scheduled to join us at the top of last hour, and he's been gracious enough to hang on and still join us, but this time via phone. And he's joining us now on the Full Court Press. Ike, thanks for your patience earlier today.
Yeah, no, anytime. It was good to just kind of sit there and, talk to you guys while, you guys were kind of doing your thing. And, I'm glad that, we can get this figured out, and I'm glad that we can chat and, be able to talk to each other.
I know a lot kind of going on. It feels like college football has become, like a lot of sports are this way, but it feels like it's becoming a year-round thing. We're always talking about it, there's always something happening. So glad we could have you here.
Yeah,
for sure, most definitely.
Doesn't seem to be much of an off-season in football anymore.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I guess I kind of want to start out just asking about, obviously, last year there were a bunch of people who left, but this year, in the transport, this year a lot of guys staying, you and a bunch of other people, posting on social media, we're going to run it back. And I just kind of want to ask about, like, how much if you guys, like, talk together a bunch, like, just rallying together and, all agreeing, say, hey, we're going to run this back and have, all of the guys who have eligibility stay for another year and at least another year and trying to, improve upon this last year.
No, yeah, for sure. So, first off, I want to, kind of talk about, Coach A and, his kind of program and what he's built. We all trust Coach A. At the end of the day, we're going to do whatever he says, and if he says he's going to do something, we know that he's going to do it. So I think it comes down to is where, as me and my teammates were talking about leaving, transferring, a lot of them getting offered, some big money deals, great schools, great things that, you can go there and pursue and, be pretty successful. I think what it came down to was, as we talked as, teammates and collectively as a group, that there's no other coach like Coach A in the country. I mean, the way Coach A cares about us and, everything that he does for us, it's unbelievable. So I think that was, the main thing as to of why we stayed. Like I said before, I mean, a lot of us could have left and probably made a lot of money, but, most of the times, I was talking earlier, most of the times, money can't always buy happiness, and it's, it's more about the friendships and the relationships that you build with your teammates and your coaches and, just everybody around you. So that's really the main reason that we all stayed, and that's kind of the conversations that we had together.
I mean, it's a strange world now where players need to go to social media to declare they're coming back rather than no matter their intentions, everybody has to declare what their intentions are anymore. It used to be it's assumed you're back unless you say otherwise, but now it's every year, every season you have to declare what your intentions are, whether you're staying or going. What was I know you've talked a lot about Coach Anderson and his philosophy and his love for the team and what he's doing for this team moving forward, but so. At the end there, you kind of made it sound like you guys did collectively discuss your intentions. What was that like? And to pull people together, was it just happenstance that, hey, so what are you thinking? Or was there guys getting together and discussing pros and cons? I don't want to obviously reveal secret things discussions that you guys had that are personal, but just that process. What was that like? And was it pretty quick, or did it take some time for some people? For some of your teammates to do a little bit of soul searching to determine their outcome?
Yeah, so it definitely took some time. I mean, it's not a decision that, we could make, overnight. And really how we went about it is, it wasn't like a real serious conversation. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say it's serious, but, we just kind of said why to each other. Like, why would we do this? Why would we transfer here? You know what I mean? And just kind of, like you said, I guess weighed out our pros and cons and just had a really good conversation with each other as to, okay, if you go here, are you going to play? Are you going to be a star there? Are you going to be, a special teams player? And, and kind of downgrade in your player, what's the word for it? Like your player stats, I guess, and not, have a good enough season that you had, last year or whatever. So it was kind of really just a conversation of, weighing out the pros and cons, and then also, just like I mentioned before, just Coach A. So, but yeah, it was more on the pros and cons side and the why and, the who's going to be there, what coaches have talked to you, and, all that jazz.
So obviously the chance to, maybe transfer somewhere else and make NIL money starts with obviously you having a really good season. And I know you were a really good freshman a couple years ago, but, this last year you went from kind of upstart freshman to every night star. I guess, what was that transition like for you, going from, as I said, like kind of an upstart player who got hot at the end of the year to, every game guy? What was that transition like for you this last year?
Yeah, it was great. After my redshirt freshman season, like you said, I was getting hot towards the end. I didn't really realize, like I didn't know I was really going to start. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, maybe I can start. I'm just going to keep working and doing me. And then as we got closer to the season, and then the season started, and I became a starter and was starting every single game, and, having productivity and, doing the things I did, I think I transitioned. I was able to transition pretty smoothly. But yeah, I mean, it was great. It was great last year. I had a lot of fun. Like I said, I felt like I was able to, take that role into my hands and, carry it and help my team out in, any ways that I could. So, but it was great. I had a lot of fun last year.
So did you have to kind of change anything about the way you approached the game? Because, as that redshirt freshman, you're a lot of special teams and then, more defensive snaps later in the year. Like, did you have to change the approach from knowing you're going to play only a few snaps to, this year where you're playing basically every snap? Or did kind of the end of that freshman season where you were playing most of the snaps kind of help what it's like to prepare for a game where you're going to play 60, 70 snaps?
Yeah, definitely the end of that freshman year, that definitely was an eye opener, and was like, okay, wow, like this is what I can be doing. At that time I didn't know that I was going to be starting in the next year, but this is what I can be doing, and I'm going to be prepared when my name is called. And I like the phrase, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, because I mean, if anything can happen at any given time. You know what I mean? Like, a player can go down and you're going to be thrown into play. So, I mean, I like to use that phrase, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And I feel like playing, those last 5-6 games of my redshirt freshman season really helped me boost my confidence and realize, okay, I can really do this and play with these guys.
We're talking to Ike Larsen, standout safety for Utah State football. And this is a team that has gone through some things the last few years, but through all of that, still found ways to make it to a bowl game. The 2 seasons in a row with a lot of external and internal distractions, Coach Anderson still finds a way to get you guys to the bowl season. And this year, obviously, there's a kind of a different feeling compared to last year. What's been different with this coaching staff or with the team in feeling like there's change positive that's happening moving forward?
Shoot, I mean, we're just all feeling really, really good and confident. I mean, a lot of us stayed, and but we're also getting a lot of great players from the portal. We've already got a few here starting to work out. We started workouts on Tuesday this week, so I mean, everybody's been just having a great feeling, and everybody's coming ready to go and working out, and just having that brotherhood love, which that's what we had in 2021. And I mean, we won the Mountain West Championship in 2021, and I think we went 11-3 that season. So I mean, we're all feeling that kind of vibe for this year, and it's a good thing. We can't complain at all. So, but I think the main thing is, I mean, we're getting all these new kids, the returners. We're all clicking. We're all combining. We're all talking to each other, loving up on each other, and that's the main thing. And if you want to play for your coaches, but it's another thing if you want to play for the player beside you. So
what is it kind of like for you as a player? In this off season where, just a couple of years ago, 2020, 2021, like there wasn't as much roster volatility, but last couple of years it's been a ton. Like, what's it like for you as a player? Like, seeing players go, seeing them, and especially coming in, obviously, you're getting a lot of guys from the transfer portal, and that's not how it's always been, how you usually add a bunch of players, where most of the guys you've added so far have been transfer. What's that kind of like for you as a returner, seeing so many guys coming and going?
Yeah, it can honestly be tough sometimes, seeing like one of your best friends go, like Devin Dow, use him as an example. Like me and Devin, off the field and, on the field, we were best buddies. So, I mean, over the few years that, I've been here, it's hard seeing people come and go, but I mean, people got to make the best decisions for themselves, and I want everybody to be successful. I want everybody to be able to play. But it's also nice having people transfer in too as well. You can build new friendships and find new people to hang out with, and it just opens the book 10 times, because you're going to have a kid from, Chicago, or you're going to have a kid from, California, and then we're going to have all these kids from Utah, you know what I mean? So it's pretty cool that we can all, come together and combine as a group and, kind of all be best buddies. So, but it's been good. It's been a little tough, but it's also been good, and I think that's a good thing. Change is a good thing, so.
The early signing period was last month, but the final opportunity for players to announce their intentions, where they want to go and sign to be a part of something is early next month. What's your role, if any, or your teammates' role in the recruiting that's still happening out there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if the recruiting that's still happening, and if players want to talk to us, or however we go about that, we tell them the truth. We don't sugarcoat things. We tell them everything they need to know, and then really from there, it's their decision to be made on if they want to, come be a part of this team, or if they want to go, to another program. Like, either way, we're going to tell the truth and be 100% honest with them, 100% of the time. So
I want to ask,
there's not. I feel like there's not really a role. I feel like, shoot, if it happens, if we hit a DM on Instagram, or a DM on Twitter, then we'll reply. Just be 100% with them.
Yeah. I kind of, as we talk about, team success and the team going forward, I kind of ask, what's next for you? You've had, freshman season where I think you were honorable mention, like freshman All-American, second team All-Mountain West. This year, your first team All-Mountain West. I guess what's next for you as far as your aspirations, what you want to accomplish here at Utah State, and maybe even beyond at the next level of football?
Yeah, so first off, I just want to, be thankful for, all those accolades that I've gotten these past 2 years. This last season was a big one for me because, I kind of set all my goals out and I kind of hit all my goals. So really it's all up from now, and, definitely try to get first team Mountain West defensive safety, next year, maybe defensive player of the year. And, I'm still chasing, the All-American stuff. But, at the end of the day, I mean, that really doesn't matter. It's, as a team, if we win and, and just get the job done in that aspect of things. So, I mean, that's I do have my own set goals, but at the end of the day, if I come out of the here next year with 10 tackles and, we win a Mountain West championship, I won't be mad at all.
So it hasn't been made official by Utah State, but it appears that Coach Joe Cawthon and the Aggies are parting ways. Looks like there's going to be another new defensive coordinator for a third straight year. How does that affect you or your unit, just having a kind of changes in the leadership of that defensive side of the ball?
Yeah. So first of all, Joe was a great guy. But yeah, he's no longer with the team anymore. And Coach A's brought, Coach Driley from New Mexico State. And I feel like, I mean, as a group, I mean, we just had a meeting the other day. I think we're going to be just fine. I mean, I'm not really too worried about it. I think we're going to be just fine. And meeting this new coach, he seems like, he really cares for us and wants the best for us. And I mean, it's a change. Change is hard. You got to build all that trust back, and that's not easy. That's going to take a while. But I think if we can, trust each other, just put the trust in the coach's hands again, and just like I said before, Coach A will never lead us in the wrong direction, and he's going to do what's best for us at all times. I think we're going to be just fine, even though it's a little bit of a change. But we just got to rock and roll with it.
Yes, I know there's a lot of talk toward the end of the year, some of the defensive struggles. I guess, this with the change, you feel like that's, is that an area that kind of motivates you to, seeing some of the results you had on the defensive end, knowing, you guys will be able to make those improvements, that kind of motivates you to do a lot better in I guess I said improve on this year.
Oh yeah, definitely. Those numbers that we had last year, they're terrible. Yeah, they're just terrible. I mean, there's not much more we can say. Just really unacceptable and not really normal for the group and the athletes that we had last year. So we're gonna get better. I promise you that. We're not gonna be 126. We're not gonna be 100 and whatever. In any category this year, we're gonna be way better than we were. So that's definitely a big motivation for us, and just with the new coaches as well. I mean, hopefully they can come in and get us a good scheme, and we can just get better.
Well, Ike, we appreciate you coming on with us and appreciate your patience through all of our technical issues earlier today. But We really do appreciate the insights and the honesty, and wish you and the rest of the team a lot of success here in the off season, getting ready for next year.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I had a great time. And stuff happens with the technology, but I'm glad we were able to figure it out. So thank you guys.
All right.
Thank you, Ike.
Thanks, Ike.